Hey guys, so today we are doing a video that I've had a lot of questions and comments about regarding kind of tips and tricks, kind of things I do on the field and why. This is something I've been holding off doing for a while, and if we are going to do it today, which we're going to attempt, I do want to caveat this video by saying in no way do I think or have I had any kind of training. I'm not trying to teach you guys something that I think Special Forces use or vice versa. This is merely tips and tricks that I've picked up playing Airsoft for the last 5 years that seem to work well for me and for others. They 100% do not translate across into the real steel world, so I don't want to go into this with people thinking we're trying to teach, Special Forces techniques. This is simply advice and tips and skills that I've picked up in the last 5 years that hopefully may help you guys as well. To begin with, I want to talk you guys a little bit through the way I have my magazines placed. I myself am a right-handed shooter, so all my magazines face downwards and to the right. You often see players with magazines just kind of all over the place. If you're using mid-caps and you are reloading quickly and a lot, magazine placement is key. You will see some players, some of my teammates do it where they have all of them facing this way bar one, they'll have it facing the other, and that's for if they're shooting, offhand, they can reload that way. But I often keep them all this way, and that is for a reason. So as I'm pulling magazines out, they're ready to go, they're facing the right way, I can put them straight in, then I'm not spinning them around, I can do that kind of reflex, straight out, straight in, and they're facing the same way. And then to reload, I on the back do have a gun pouch, which means with these type of pouches, it's hard to get them in quickly, so I never try and get them back in during a firefight. Once I reload, I take the new magazine out, take the old one out, fresh mag in, and this one just goes straight in the gun pouch, and I'll deal with it later on. So that's how I run all my magazines, they're all facing the same way, so as I pull them out, they can go into the weapon nice and quickly. So to begin with, I want to talk to you guys about cover, because I find in CQB this kind of advice can help out a lot in situations, and it can help generally when you're playing in CQB. So if you're going to approach a piece of cover like I've got in front of me here, I often see players, they will move up and they'll get themselves right up against this piece of cover. Which means if there's anybody around it, which you don't know yet, you're sticking your gun around like this, you're giving your position away to anybody here, they can actually start taking shots at you, and you can't see much without, like, we put a target down here, I can't start to see much until I'm really sticking out, and because I'm so close to it, I can't operate my magazines quickly, I can't reload without having some space. So rather than sticking yourself right up on top of cover like that, unless you're being suppressed and you have to really, duck in, if you've got the time to move around and you're not being shot at, I find it best to always dress back from cover, keep a little bit of distance, which means you can actually aim your weapon, you can get the sight lined up before you've given yourself, out from cover, so you can get yourself lined up, and then if you know there's a target, I don't know if you can see that down there, we put a target down range. And just a little quick example there. If I am aware that this target is in this location, rather than doing this, and then sticking my head out, looking up and trying to shoot him, because in this time period here, he's going to get there. If I can dress back, and I can line up the shot from here, I can just go, and then step back in, much quicker. You've got your eye down your sight, I can see my dot, I can just step out, fire, and step back in. Much quicker than if I go from here and I try and look out, aim, fire, and step back in. Much slower. So obviously this isn't doable everywhere, this is only when you've got space to move around. Sometimes you are forced to go against cover, you get shot at, or the room might only be a hallway and very, very slim. But if you have the space, step back and step back in. Okay, so another one I want to talk about, which I often see new players do, is what I call winning the corner. So you can imagine I've come to this position, I've dressed back a bit, gone through all the things we've talked about, and there's another corner and there's an enemy behind it. And you've got the classic, he shoots, you duck in, he ducks in, you shoot. If you can win, what I describe as kind of winning the corner, is if you can step out and fire, put a couple of rounds down, he then ducks in. The amount of times I see players, the enemy ducks in, so then they step back, which now you've given him a chance to fire back at you. Once you've won that corner, you want to just lock it down. You want to stay there. If he pops his head out again, you've got him straight away because you've dialed it in and you're waiting. So one on the idea of cornering still, another good technique, if you have been suppressed by somebody, so you're firing, on the corner, and they start firing back and you have to kind of step in. This seems very obvious, but you'll be surprised how many players don't consider this that I see on the field. Rather than popping back out the same height and taking a face on BBs because he's dialed back position in, simple techniques that sound silly that are very effective. It's just simple things like taking a knee. So you duck in, and the next thing you come down and you come out at a low angle. Hopefully, for a couple of seconds at least, or half a second, he's going to still be aiming up high. You get yourself a fraction of a second to just fire a couple of rounds off in a low position and hopefully get a hit. Or suppress him enough that he ducks back in, and then you can win back the corner. And then you can, you can stand up, you can put yourself in a comfortable position, as I say, press back from the wall, and then lock that corner down. And then as soon as he pops his head out again, unless he ducks low, of course, you should always keep an eye out for people using your own techniques against you. You can take him out. Okay, so this is a technique people like to call kind of pie in the corner or kind of pre-firing, which you can argue till the cows come home with pre-firing and blind firing. I say if it's done in a control situation, it isn't, because as you're firing, I can see where every BB is landing. In this situation here, we've got our target here, and I'm aware that he's there in this situation. But I want to come around, I don't just want to, kind of stick my head out like this sometimes. You're not sure if he's got friends with him, there may be other people in other corners still. So, in a situation like this, if you can't see the corner straight ahead as well, so you've got, there's a couple of options of where fire could be coming from. I'm going to come around the corner, I'm aiming downside, I'm always seeing where my rounds are going, but I'm going to come around the corner firing, and I've got him. Now, this technique is also a suppressive technique, especially if you have quite a loud gun in a CQB site. If the player isn't experienced, especially, just that kind of firing as you come around, often if they're waiting for you and they see those rounds come in, you'd be surprised how many players might turn away, they wince a bit, and you've kind of won the situation. So again, I know he's there, rather than just, I could use the other techniques I told you about, but that's only if I only know he's there. There may be other players in other corners, so that's why I'm clearing the arc of fire in front of me by coming round. Guys, did enjoy that very brief kind of tips and tricks for cornering in CQB. I know there'll be guys out there who disagree with those techniques, or they think different, they think better. I'm just giving you my advice on what works for me personally, and if you want to try it yourself, see how it goes. So I want to thank Betty here and all the guys at First and Only The Mill for allowing us to use this space to film some videos. If you haven't checked it out, I will leave the link to the First and Only The Mill down in the description below. But if you have enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment down below. And if you would like to see more videos along this kind of tips and tricks and advice stuff, tell me in the comments. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.